to a level where we become
when
an
we
orb of
first
light.
started, we understood that the Om was the
Uh-huh.
language of the sun. You understand that,
Yes,
correct?
yes, yes.
And the language of the sun was our basis for this vibrational unity. But not all understood it and could not be conceived by the world at that time. So we brought it into a beautiful chanting music. We made it into something they could relate to. And also the lyrics or words or whatever you want to call them, the message of the song was also vibrationally high so that they could move forward and upward. Do you remember that portion?
So we created what was later known as Gregorian chants. That's what I
Yes,
always thought.
yes,
So
exactly,
Gregorian chants was kind of a memory of what we had done earlier.
exactly.
Because I felt Gregorian chants weren't quite right, but like
Well,
they
let me
really
tell you how it.
have the essence of it.
The Om was perceived by the great spiritual leaders back then, as you know. They perceived the language of the sun just as you did and I did, and therefore they became it became our vibrational basis, and we used that to chant, and that is why when you hear chanting, that it sometimes maintains monotones at a time, but there it still is beautiful and understandable. But it
Yes.
maintains a rather monotone vibration to bring everyone into the same level of vibration so that they can resonate together. And then it can actually be split up into other vibrations, which we also did. This was the later understanding of how to bring it to many different levels of people. So we started with one level to bring everyone up, and then as they come up, then we can break it into other levels so it brings the lower levels higher. Do you remember this?
Um, my memory is more of what what later became put into Gregorian chants as like
Yes.
modes and numerical orders of
Yes.
these notes was actually the relation in the music of the spheres, the spiritual and the physical becoming one. So
Yes.
if we were on the fifth dimensional physical, we would resonate with the fifth dimensional spiritual and create a new
Exactly. That
resonance.
is what
And
I'm talking about vibration. The
okay,
vibrations become one.
okay,
The Om brings everything into the sameness
thank
because
you,
it is one vibration that brings
thank you.
all things into its own.
Yes, I
All things, no,
understand this.
even everything that is in the room, everything that is existing,
Yes,
when they hear the Om, come to that particular vibration, and there become one. And that is our basis. And so for when you talk about the different um, tones and things, yes, this is the breaking down and helping other people to rise into that dimensional place because the Om is of one vibration or one thing of equality. You understood that, and that is the way that it was brought up.
and now I'm trying to unbreak it up because it has been taken down into these ideas of scales and chords and these densities, which now people are calling that's the spiritual music, and I'm trying to take it back up
Yes.
to the Om, to the sun, to the light and the sound, the music of the spheres, the frequency of the gamma waves. And I'm teaching this in a way that we've learned that we can actually take our consciousness into the sun and see the sun turn ultraviolet blue, which is a
Yes.
frequency in herself. So that's kind of creating this
Right.
resonance through light
But
and
you
sound of
must,
bringing that back.
in order to do this, you must start with the basic of the Om and bring everyone into the same vibration before you bring them up to this one vibration before you can break it down. Do you understand that?
Well, I understand, but the problem is that when the people at this time, when you say that, it means something totally different to them.
I
And
understand.
the more you try to bring them into it, see, they think they already know what that means. They think if they just say the word Om, but see, that is not connecting their consciousness. They
No.
don't understand this raising of frequency. And I learned this by what was returned to earth as what I believe was our teachings. It was um, kept together through the Essenes
Yes.
and put
The
back
earliest of the
together
Christians.
and put back together and brought back to earth, and it's now called Kalantic science, the
Yep.
science of the light and the sound science. And this science, I think, is very important to help people realize that they need to understand what they're doing besides just they've been sitting around crossing their legs going Om for
Ask
2,000
them
years.
this. What is
Mm-hmm.
their intention with the Om? They
Mm-hmm.
must understand what it is in intention, also, not only in its vibration, but it is in its intention. So you can bring them into oneness with letting them know what the intention of your bringing them together, what the intention of the Om is all about. They may have wayward understandings of what the Om really is. They may keep those understandings, but add to it the intention that you want to bring to it.
Mm-hmm. And what I have found when they experience, see, when they experience the feeling of moving their consciousness into the sun and feeling themselves wrapped inside the full light, the full
Yes.
essence of light, all the full light clear up beyond the gamma, clear to the source field. And they
Yes.
move themselves inside of the sun and they actually see the sun turn blue. Then they've had an experience. And then I try to connect that experience to the feeling of being inside of the sun, inside the full Om vibration, the allness of the full light and sound spectrum. So that's why I said the idea of walking into the sun seems to be something that more people can relate to than anything
Yes.
I've ever
And
have
also,
found.
remember, when you are in the cosmic sphere, remember that every cell is ignited with joy.
Mm.
Every cell is filled with laughter and joy and cannot be unhappy in this particular place, particular condition, and let them know that this is one of the signs that they have reached this particular area.
So that would be what we call bliss. The
Yeah,
feeling of bliss in every cell in the body ignites into the bliss of within
it
the
does.
sun, within the cosmic sphere of oneness.
And it is overwhelmingly beautiful, and they will never, ever forget that experience, and will want to return to that experience over and over again. And what this does is to ignite many others to experience this bliss. It shows on their face, it shows in their body, it enlightens them and brings out the joy that is inherently theirs through the connection of the God Spirit.
And what I have done is I've gone through this process of connecting my consciousness, and as we used to do, of making the chants, I create a type of a chant that through music frequencies, where I'm actually recording these frequencies of consciousness, the higher and higher frequencies. So I think this is kind of like my modern version of what we used to do, because we didn't used to have recording equipment at that time. But see, now I can take what we used to do and I can record it, and then other people can listen to it and they can feel what I feel. So it's not just me saying Om, it's actually when I record it, they're feeling the frequencies of the Om of me
Exactly.
being in
And this is
cosmos.
because you have set your intention to bring their spirit up. You have set your intention, oh, you may not have stated it, but your intention is to bring up the spirit, bring up the light, bring up the spirituality, if you will, of the earth. And with this intention, be aware that your intention is powerful in this area and that you can ignite this in people with your intention to do so, because it is a powerful thing to put that on it.
And this intention, I have been told that my songs, my frequencies have been heard all over the universe. When angels are saying that to me, are they talking about Mother Mother Mary frequencies or Mary Magdalene singing Mother Mary frequencies?
Well, let me explain how music is in the universe. Every note, every song, everything that has ever been emoted by any species or being is still in the universe. And you can take a hold of it and bring it into your intention and illuminate it in a way that is solely your way. And that
I
will
understand.
all vibrate throughout the universe and affect the entire universe. Yes.
So
And
just
so-
my frequency signature.
Just from your
itself.
frequency signature. If that's what you intend, that's what will happen, because your intention as a spiritual being connected to God is that strong. You are a God in the ways that you intend to ignite the universe and ignite humanity. You may not see the effects of it immediately because there is resistance to that on the third and many dimensions. But when you see that breaking down, when you see that your intention is breaking through, then you will know that this is the truth and the power of it is extending out. But it has already done so.
So why is it that we have heard you speak for so many years on earth and you've never spoken about this music part of our life?
Why is it that we've never spoken about it?
Yeah, is just because nobody would have understood what you're talking about? Why?
No, because things are spoken about at the time they need to be spoken about. The intention of God is everything in its own time, and everything is appropriate at some point in time. And now is the appropriate time for you to bring this to the world, because the understanding is at a place where it can make a difference. There was a period, as you said, that they probably would not understand completely what you were trying to do, but there will be those that will completely understand and be able to grasp it and move it forward with you. Because when you have people that understand it as you do and are moving with you, then it becomes even more powerful.
Yes, I think there are 5 people on earth who understand me at this time.
That's 5 more than would have understood you 20 years ago.
Yeah, so I should be excited about that, even though it's
Yes,
actually
absolutely.
it's kind of depressing, actually.
No,
That it's so hard to reach people, and they're so